I'm gonna get straight to it. This video is gonna be about the calling. It's gonna be about agents, bad spirits, aka demons that are assigned to you. And if depending on what position that you're or playing and bloodline, etc., that you come from in the spiritual realm, you could be ruffling certain feathers, but Mr. Satan himself will send some of his top ranking just out for you. I'm a living testimony. Triple ones to God I own us. 13. I don't know how to really put this in words when I say I always felt like I was different. I can't give you a date and time, but I can say between the age of, I want to say, because my grandmother passed when I was 11, okay, I want to say around 12, 13 is when I started asking a lot of questions and looking outside the box in certain aspects. I used to always just look up into the sky. I don't know why, just always. In a particular area where I was at, we used to always see shooting stars. And I do that because that's what we were told that is. Like flying all across the sky, just. And in my head, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, even back then I used to watch X-Files and all this other stuff with aliens, and because of my aunt that was raising me at the time, she would watch certain programs. So I always felt things like something was trying to call me or give me a signal. You know what I mean? And I was always sensitive with energy. Being around like individuals, people. And at that stage too, when you're younger, you're not really, I guess, aware of these things that you are. That's why too, a lot of times these evil entities definitely don't want to see you hit certain levels in life, because with age and comes growth. Because you've went through experiences in life, you've made bad choices. And by the grace of the higher powers, you have made it through those situations. Therefore, you've had experience. Sadly, how some of these young souls come in the world and then they leave early. I don't think they had the full experience to have an experience. Or maybe that was just what they meant to come here as an experience. Know thyself and do your self-studies, and this is just my opinion. So, I started reading different little books, and because I was in learning disability, especially with reading, like I was behind, but when I finally start reading, I exceeded. So my point of saying all of this is, when you have a calling for something that may be higher than what society are aiming for you to be, especially when you're at school and a teacher is teaching you something and you sit back like, I'm not sure about that. That doesn't sound the most accurate. Just like I told one of my history teachers, she showed us the pictures of the Mayan people, or whoever it was, the Olmecs or something, because we were in history class. I mean, but if you look at the features, they had full lips, wide noses. I mean, I was around 17. So I'm saying this to say, even she was looking at me. You start to know certain things when you have a calling. Same thing as the awakening. Just a different title. It's the same thing. It's an awakening and a calling because you're trying to find your purpose. Now, as you trying to find your purpose, you are assigned certain entities, demons, and especially depending on what role you play. Because the whole goal is for them to make you fail your mission. See, when you get in television and everything in this system, it's because it's trying to numb you down to a lower vibration. Because you got to remember, a lot of us was already out in nature and in tune with daughter Earth. You know, we knew certain things. We knew medicine and this and that, and we knew more about Earth, I guess, in the whole totality. You know, back then, many moons ago, I wouldn't have looked at Earth itself, herself, as being a female, let alone have a gender, but actually be a whole living organism. So when you start to wake up and see things, you have what they call demons, because I don't know, this stuff get deep because I believe in polarities. That's why I say, as much as I can feel like I'm an earth angel and know that I'm an earth angel, I feel like I possess all the materials enough to be just as much as a demon. But I think what's in you, far as like, you know, what your intentions are, will balance out, you know, what more you would be, good or bad. But I feel like practice make perfect. So when you start to grow more, you start to lose more of the earthly desires. But the demons are here to make sure you keep having these desires. You got women around, you got alcohol, you got all this stuff here to keep it easier for these evil spirits, demonic spirits to jump into your body and host them. I mean, it's really deep because you may say how you can label yourself a demon and an angel, but what if you are an angel but actually still be a demon? Knowledge is infinite. That's just like time. Even though it don't exist, they say that it just was. So how something gonna have a beginning if it was always here, if it always exists? What exists but us just here, white, black, green, purple, the animals, everything tells you something that was here by design. I personally think just like the computer chips and the programs and everything else, I feel like this is what we are in. And a lot of people are waking up, I guess, or even figuring it this way. Doesn't mean we fully correct, but you gotta go with your intuitions and believe and have a belief for something. I don't agree with the atheists at all, but that's their opinion. I don't think anything could just boom, bang, and you can have a brain that's so impeccable, so perfectly designed. If you look inside of the brain and the eyes and all, like, you ain't just gonna get some, but then again, who knows? But you gotta stand for something. But back to these, and I know I spoke on this before, but I think it should be spoken on again because a lot of people don't understand this is a real thing, how these bad spirits jump from bodies to bodies. And you will know. They almost like familiar spirits because it'll be a familiar type of presence. You will know, especially when you start getting in tune to a higher level. But all the signs of the callings will be there. You got to pay attention to signs, like literally signs, numbers, alphabets, because you got to understand you can see words within words. When you start to really wake up, you start to see things for what it is. But the thing is finding out your purpose. You hear that calling, and you're going through so much, and you're trying to realize, why am I going through this? Why am I being attacked? So many different ways. I'll be the first one to admit, I do need to do more soul searching, I guess. And I say I guess because down here on what we call earth, even as we can label ourselves as God, deities, we have this human desire here. We have this earthly flesh desire here. And when I say we, I'm not saying every single person. Personally, I don't believe in a super perfect person that's on earth, but maybe it is somewhere, a monk or something, I don't know. So what I'm saying is, they say chosen. I feel like we all could be selected in certain different areas. Even the ones that's not considered chosen are chosen to be something. Even if you're going to be an extra in a movie, you was chosen to be that extra in that movie. So that's why I really kind of don't think it's no big eyes and little U's, but I do believe, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because they say don't show favoritism, just like when people have multiple kids. Usually, let's be honest, usually I think a parent or both parents may be drawn to one or two kids more than others or have some type of favorite. And maybe the creator or maybe the creators have a favorite. So yeah, I'm in this video, but I hope I was making sense. I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but just speaking on that calling that you may have on your life, for being a selected individual, for having an anointment in your life. And of course, it'd be the words that the familiar word everybody uses, being chosen, being handpicked to carry out a mission. And sometimes a lot of us, or a certain amount of us, might not know what our purpose is in life. But you wonder why you're being attacked, treated bad in certain situations, or why everything not feeling fair, or people staring at you so much because they see something in you that you may not see in yourself. They may see a bright light that you don't see. People speak about these energy vampires, etc., because this stuff is real. And if this video is relatable to you, all I ask you to do is like, comment, and subscribe, share, do any of them. Because I know it's a lot of haters too that be viewing these videos. That's just the way I feel about the results of what I'm seeing. But I still remain to keep going. You have a calling in your life, and you find your purpose and go for it. And you have to go with it without fear, or without being hindered by a spouse or somebody that's gonna maybe hinder your mission in life. You know, because a lot of us tend to think our life, if we get stuck in working and doing certain stuff in this earthly realm, that we don't live our life purpose. So again, and always understand and watch your circle, who's around you. That's why a lot of, especially the people they call chosen and all this, right? They tend to be loners. You know, of course they go around their family if it's ever a time to have a gathering or something, but for the most part, you'll normally see them people by themselves because You will never know who's going to stab you in the back. Look how they did that man in the book that we talk about, the man God. You know, it was somebody that was close to him. At least that's what they wrote in there. Message, trick warns the God our owners.